Hey everybody, Palm Springs Cindy here, and I am coming to you from my den/office. I kind of saved a few days because I wanted people to write in any questions that they had for me on my last video. And so I have those questions. Actually, I have my iPad here, and I am going to read the questions from my iPad, and we will kind of go from there. I got some great questions. So here we go. Okay, a lot of questions about my hair. And I'm gonna tell you that because it's been so hot here in Indio, California, and because I have been swimming and using our clubhouse pool, my hair, which has been so dry anyway, was just getting drier and drier. And so I ended up buying, when I was at Trader Joe's, I bought a bottle or a jar of coconut oil. So I've been putting coconut oil on my hair, actually my face too, and leaving it. So one day, the day before the last video that I uploaded, excuse me, I combed and just slathered the coconut oil in my hair and combed it all through. And I actually left it in overnight. The next day I got up and I put a ball cap on. I went to the pool. The coconut oil was almost saturated into my hair. I went to the pool, so the sun hit and heated up my hair even more, but I kept my ball cap on. Then, and I also washed and conditioned my extensions. So that's why my hair looked so healthy, and it did. And so since that video, the last one that I uploaded, I have been continuing to put the coconut oil on my hair. I've done it probably 2 more times. And I think once I get my hair sort of back to a little bit of a shine, I'll continue to use the coconut oil 3 times a week. I'm concerned about the oil going down my drain, so I try to hose my hair off before I jump in the shower so that it's out in the yard, any kind of that oil, because it does harden and clog. So be aware of that. But anyway, that's what I did for my hair. And for highlights, the only thing is that I have been out in the sun. I have been in the pool with the chlorine, the sunshine, and so it has made my highlights stand out a little bit more. So that is the story of my hair. Oh darn, what did I just do? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, what do I miss? What do you miss about being married, and what do you love about being single? Well, I miss the companionship. Even though my husband traveled a lot, it was still, there was still companionship. I miss that. And I love that my schedule it's almost the flip side of the coin, I'll say. I love my schedule. Like the other night, I am not a good sleeper. And so if I want to get up in the middle of the night and watch TV or work on a video or whatever, I can do that without bothering my husband. I can do that without him getting up and saying, what are you doing? What's wrong? Why aren't you sleeping? And so I'm just more, I like that I don't have to explain where I'm going, what I'm up to. And I like the independence of living alone, but on the other hand, I do miss that companionship. I'm still adjusting, and so far, kind of off the top, with that companionship, I miss the history of our relationship, knowing that, just all the history that comes with a long marriage. So there you go. Okay, Shelby is doing great, and my husband was close to Shelby, but he was very against me getting Shelby, and I hesitated. but I knew that I really wanted a dog, and I knew that a dog would be good for us. And eventually, actually, he said, don't get it, don't get her, don't get a dog. I'm telling you, there's a lot of responsibility. Well, I did get her. And then when I brought her home, she was this precious little puppy. And of course he said, oh my gosh, let me hold her. So he became very close to Shelby. And I'm sure he misses her. I do send him pictures of her once in a while. Any swimsuit or cover-up brands that I especially enjoy, being that I'm in the pool a lot? Yes, well, not really. The bathing suits that I buy are one piece, and they're pretty high coverage. So I find if I have one particular, it's actually not a beach cover-up or a bathing suit cover-up, but it's like a little dress. It's V-neck, sleeveless. I throw that on over my bathing suit, and then I go to the pool. I'm in the water. When I get out of the water, I throw my little cover-up on, and I come home. I used to have one of those kind of see-through skirts, long wrap-around skirts. But I have found that between my bathing suit and the ruffles on my bathing suit, and then to tie that wrap-around skirt on, it's too much. And the skirt is long, and it's actually too hot. So any kind of cover-up would be something pretty skimpy in fabric, and just throw on over my head. Something about a while ago, you posted a video discussing your grief process over your divorce, but you seem to be happy and adjusting beautifully. Well, thank you. And I'm going to do a video on how I'm feeling right now. I recently watched a video from Lisa, and it really did resonate with me. And I'm going to talk about that because it does have a lot to do with love and loss and grief. And I imagine that feeling goes across the board to many generations, to many relationships. So I'm going to put that one on the back burner. Let's see. I was wondering if you have hobbies you like to do, or is interior design a hobby? And what during your lifetime have you enjoyed doing? I know you like to, okay. Well, first of all, I do not like to travel, and I'll tell you why. I am very attached to my own home. I am sort of a homebody. I am very, I'm not a good sleeper. So if I'm somewhere strange, in a strange bed, using a strange restroom, a strange shower, strange blankets, things like that, I don't adjust well to that newness, to that strangeness, so to speak. And so I hate packing. I hate deciding what I'm going to wear. I hate thinking, and predicting, what's the weather going to be like? I better bring a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm not a traveler. Now, what I do enjoy, like I did enjoy going to Idaho, to our home in Idaho, and that, I had to pack for the summer, but of course, eventually I just left clothes there, but that is not an option for me anymore. So if I do, on my bucket list is, I want to take one of those Viking cruises. I think if I went on a cruise, it would be more enjoyable for me. I don't know why, but I don't know why, other than there wouldn't be a lot of, checking into this hotel, repacking, traveling, unpack, get into that hotel, and that whole scenario. That's the part I don't like. And I think if you're on a cruise, you're there. That is your hotel room. Is your room. Hobbies, YouTube has become a hobby of mine. Of course, shopping, I love to shop. I love playing bridge. That's a hobby of mine. I did try to take up knitting. I have not been successful at it. I thought it would be good for me to keep me from overeating. It would give me something to do at night when I'm watching TV. It would keep my hands busy. And I have started, and I thought I would knit those shawls for people that, excuse me, I was going to knit the shawls and give them to the homeless, but I never was successful at everything I knit was too many mistakes. So basically, no. I used to like to read, but now that with Netflix and Amazon Prime, I'm a Netflix and I'm a video binger, and I'm not even a reader anymore. Have I ever thought about moving outside of California? Never. I have never thought about it. I am a California girl. However, I have fantasized about, before I even bought this house, I did say to myself, I don't have to stay in California. However, my daughter is here, and I really would not be happy being away from my daughter or my siblings. My mother is, still here, and I just, no. Now, if I had enough money, I would like to have a second house somewhere in a colder climate, like Idaho, maybe even back east somewhere, although I don't know anybody back there. So no, I really have not considered moving outside of the state. Are you a vegan, and do I have high blood pressure because I seem to eat a lot of salty foods? I'm not a vegan, although I am not a real meat eater. I have nothing against eating meat, but I find that I don't really like anything with meat in it. However, I like tacos, ground beef tacos. Of course, I like things like lasagna, spaghetti with the meatballs and all the ground round in it. In that sense, I will eat meat. And the other day, I fried some turkey patties. I ate that, although I didn't really even enjoy it. I kind of gave a lot of it to Shelby. So I'm not a vegan. Frankly, I have no self-discipline. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. That's why I'm overweight. And I like to have my glass of wine or a cocktail when I feel like it. So another one of these questions, or this one, had to do with how do I get my protein? Well, I get plenty of protein. I really do eat more. I eat mostly a lot of junk food, to be honest with you, like crackers and popcorn and pretzels and stuff like that. But I do have, when I eat real food, like last night I had a veggie burger and with coleslaw. I ordered it. And let's see what else. I'll have an egg on toast. I eat lean cuisines. I eat a lot of those packaged salads. So that's kind of what I eat. All right, so these are the four tiles. They're made out of tiles. Now look, I'm gonna put them up really close. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. Then there's this tile stuff in the middle. Each tile is different, has a different glaze, and then her signature is down here. So here's another tile. I'm not even going to try to explain it. I mean, you can see for yourself what color they are. Here's the third one. And here's a fourth one. Now, that she said to hang them 2 inches apart. Now what I did was, she also suggested this. I made patterns. So I'm gonna play with the patterns first. We'll get the 4 grocery bag patterns taped to the wall. And we'll size everything and we'll figure it out that way. Almost fell. And then we'll put those up. But aren't they just gorgeous? They're very, very heavy. And they're very well made, so they're ready to be hung. They said to put 2 hangers on them. 2 hooks. So I have, like I said, I have some friends coming over. Donna, Patty, Jill are coming over, and they're gonna help me hang them. I've got my hanger upper stuff here. I had to go on YouTube to figure out how to hang something up that was that heavy. And Patty is gonna buy my lamp. I have that ready for her. I have the lamp shade down here for her. I still have one more lamp. I'm gonna sell it. And let's see, I'm babysitting my daughter's dog. So happy to have her. Can you see? Hi, me. She doesn't not want to be on the camera. Hi, baby girl. So, okay, you guys, that's the end of this installment, but I will videotape a little bit later. Hang in there for the next section. I'm videotaping for my channel.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, the girls are hanging the pictures today. Palm Springs Cindy says so.
Yes.
I love it. So Donna, Palm Springs Cindy is very famous.
Yes, I know.
We were at the club the other night and I introduced her to this guy. And I said, hey Bob, have you met Cindy? And he goes, oh, that's Palm Springs Cindy. My wife is subscribing to her channel. I'm like, and he even recognized her. I'm like, well, then you must be watching them too.
Say hi, Jill.
Hi, it's Jilly over here.
Yeah. And let's see, Patty, do I have your permission?
Yeah. Patty's over there.
Hello. These are the gal pals helping me out. Let's see, there's also some critters too.
Oh, there are the critters.
No Shelby. And where's Finley?
Finley, where'd you go?
Dinners. All the doors are closed, so
no,
he's
that's
safe.
May.
That's May, girl.
Finley,
this is
where'd you
May.
go?
Hi, May.
Finley.
And
There you are. He's over in the laundry room.
of course, because it's dark and
He
it's
likes
cool.
He likes
Hi,
cold
Finley.
spaces.
Can you say hi, you good boy? You're just a good boy. Yes, you
He's gonna go
are.
back into the laundry room.
Yes. Okay.
He
Good
loves
night.
hanging out in
Good
small
night.
spaces. Is there water in there or something?
This is the finished product. This is how the tiles look on the blue wall, my entry wall. I think they're interesting. They're certainly one of a kind. And I will put the information. These clay tiles are made from a woman named the Clay Gal. And she is, well, I just think she does beautiful artwork. These squares and these tiles are just stunning. I love them. They're one, like I said, one of a kind. They combine all the colors in my house right there on that one wall. So it's a real eye catcher when you enter my home. So thank you, Clay Gal, and thank you, friends, for helping put them up. Hey, I'm back. I had my friends come over and we put up my artwork. It's beautiful and I have pictures of it to share with you. But in the meantime, I want to get started and work a little bit more on the questions that you guys sent me to answer. Okay, this next question says, if you should someday meet someone special, would you ever consider getting married again? You know, never say never. I can't imagine meeting a man that I would jive with. And I'm quite used to living on my own. And now that I have my new home and it's decorated so nicely and I'm enjoying my independence, I think, you know, I don't know. Never say never. It would have to be a special man. And we'll see. You know, that story is yet to be written. Do you wear a swim cap to protect your hair? No. I really don't put my head underwater that much. I have those ankle weights that you put on your ankles that keep you afloat. And then I swim with those styrofoam barbells. And between those two items, I really don't put my head underwater. Now, I do dunk underwater every once in a while just to cool myself off, because when my head is wet and my hair is wet, my scalp is wet, you know, that's refreshing. But I don't like swim with my head underwater. Do you ever travel? I've already talked about traveling. It said something about, do I ever close my curtains to help cool my house down so I don't have to crank down my air conditioning? My curtains are all dummy curtains, which means they don't close. They're just there to provide softness to the, to the outside of the windows. But I do have a very large patio cover on my patio, which prevents the sun. I put it this way, I have no direct sun coming into any of my windows by way of the position of my home. Yes, my air conditioning is on just about 24/7 every day, probably now until October, as it always has been, because when you're in the desert, that's just the way it is. So my air conditioner is new, and so it should last a good 10 years before anything happens to it. Oh, it says 3 things you like about Trilogy, 3 things you don't, and things that you might change. Well, actually, 3 things I like. I love that my house and all the houses in the development are new. It's a new development. I love that because it's updated, it's modern, it's clean, and everything is very spiffy, polished, and shiny. I love that. I love our pool area is very nice, and I do enjoy going up to the pool. There are lots of pool chairs. They even have like rafts and things that you can use. I love that. I love that even though where I live is kind of far away from the maddening crowd, so to speak, I do like the location because I love that we are surrounded by these polo fields, that when I drive to the grocery store or someplace, I pass all these green areas that are, and you can look into the gates and the doors, the big gated doors, and see a lot of the people practicing and playing polo with their obviously with their horses. So I like that my house is located in the polo area. 3 things I don't like. Well, one thing that I don't like, and I'm quite concerned about, there still is a lot of development going on, and there will be for some time. Now, the development that they're finishing up that's nearest to my house is probably 3/4 of a mile away. And then the rest of the properties that they will be developing are like a couple, 3 miles away. But what that does is it stirs up the dust. And so the air can be rather dusty, and I'm not used to that, and I do not like that. And in fact, it's kind of affecting my lungs. Now, I've talked to some people about that, and they showed me on my phone how I can read, there's an index about the quality of the air each day. And then they talked to me about buying better grade filters for my air conditioning. Other than that, they said there's really nothing that can be done, and it's not just Trilogy, it's a valley-wide air, dictator as to how the air looks each day. So I don't like that it is still, that the area is still under construction, and it stirs up a lot of dust. And what else don't I like? One big thing I do not like is I wish there were more swimming pools. Now, most places like Trilogy have pools in every neighborhood, like pools in every area. My friends Donna and Patty, they have 15 pools where they live. So basically you just walk out your door, walk, not even half a block, and there's your area's pool. So we don't have that. We just have the pool the pools at the clubhouse, and I wish I had a closer pool to me, but I don't. I don't know if that's three things, but that might just be two. But that's really all I can think of right now. What would you change about yourself? What is the most comfortable clothing you own? One thing I would change about myself is I wish I was not so vain. I wish I was not so concerned about my appearance. I don't know what that is. I've always been like that. I don't know if it's just an attitude I was born with. I don't know if it was something that I've developed along. I don't know where I got it, but I've always had it. Even when I was a little girl, I remember being very conscientious about, my school uniform, and like I wanted to roll it up so that it was shorter. I wanted, my hair to be a certain way, and I didn't want to wear my beanie because it would smash my hair. So, and I remember looking at other girls to figure out their hairdos and what they were, what kind of makeup they wore, to learn from them so that I could, wear makeup and enhance my looks, I guess. So I wish I was not so vain. I think it has taken, the time I have spent in my life primping and getting fluffed up has been a lot. It's been a lot of time. But on the other hand, it's also something I really enjoy. I enjoy fiddling with my hair. I enjoy playing with makeup. So, I don't know that that's a bad thing or a good thing. And the most comfortable clothing, it's obviously what I'm wearing, these little shifts. I wear these right now. I started wearing them because of the scar on my leg. I liked them because they were maxi dresses and longer. And when I was in my wheelchair and when I had physical therapy, they were longer on me. They were below my knees. And didn't have to worry about being modest. My dress was just longer. They're comfortable. And so, I'm more comfortable wearing maxi dresses / shifts that are long and a bit loose, a bit like A-line, I'll say. If I could go anywhere in the world, I think right now I'm hooked on Germany. Like I said, I would like to go on a Viking cruise down the Rhine or the Greek Isles, the Mediterranean. I don't lust after traveling, but if I was going to, and if I could afford it, abracadabra, I would want to go to Germany, and I would want to go to the Mediterranean Sea and see the Greek islands and all that. It says, please, a survivable makeup for hot weather and how to dress in hot weather. What I've been doing, I have just been using the tinted face moisture, and then I add a little dab of foundation, and that's what I've been using for my face. And then I do my mask, and then I do basically everything else the same: mascara, lipstick, blush, eyeliner. I fill in my brows, and that's what I wear. I wear it summer, or the only thing I really change for summer is my foundation. I don't put as much foundation on, and because it's just so hot, it's not, I perspire, you get hot in the summer here, so I don't want a heavy foundation. And I just dress in my shifts. These are the kind of things that I can wear indoors, outdoors, can wear them to the grocery store. I don't like wearing pants in the summer. I don't even like wearing leggings. It's just too confining. So I prefer summer shifts and sandals. Several people asked me about any kind of Netflix or Amazon Prime recommendations. I should have been writing some things down because I have to kind of go back and look, and maybe that'll be a separate video where I can not just give you titles, but give you a little kind of an introduction regarding the content of the videos, because some videos are, girly type things, and other ones are a little more nitty gritty. I tend to like both if it's not too violent. If it's something I do want to watch, I'll just fast forward through the violence. Oh gosh. Oh, let's talk about bras. Strapless bras for my off-the-shoulder dresses. I have been wearing those, and I've mentioned this in another video, those silicone breast covers, I'll call them, where it's not a full-on bra. It's just like a cover, a coverlet that you put over your breast that covers them, but there's no straps, and they're very comfortable. They stay on. I mean, I've even accidentally gotten in the shower with them because I forgot I had them on. So though you can buy them on Amazon, and that's what I wear. That's what I like to kind of wear all the time. I do not do my own. I do my own house cleaning. I don't have a housekeeper anymore. Number one, my house is not that big. It's easier to keep clean, and especially since it was new, you know, I didn't have secondhand cooties in it, so to speak. So I pretty much use my Dyson every day, every other day. Then I find I mop, I mop around I mop my floors, and then I take the mop and I go along the edges of my wall, the molding around the bottom of my walls. And I even vacuum with my Dyson, my couch and my 2 chairs. I Windex off my glass top table. And then when I clean up my patio, I use my leaf blower, and I get a pot with warm water and a big cloth, and I wipe off my glass top table. I wipe down all my patio chairs and patio furniture, and then the leaf blower takes care of all the leaves and things. So, that doesn't take me that long. It almost takes me more time to clean off my patio than it does clean my house. My guest bedroom, my guest bathroom, I never even hardly go in there. So those never have to be cleaned. I do clean my toilet and sink, and I do try to use that toilet in the guest bathroom just to make sure it's flushing, but I don't use the tub or the shower or anything in there, so that stays pretty clean. Oh, somebody asked me about my wedding rings. I got this band with no diamonds, but this band when we got married. After we made a little money, we put the diamonds on the band. For my 20th wedding anniversary, my husband bought me my nice diamond, which I absolutely love. Now, these rings are just too beautiful to sit in a drawer. So I wear them all the time, and I will continue wearing them all the time. I love them, they're beautiful, and that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. All right, well, gosh, I'm kind of getting tired of answering questions, so I'll tap into some more questions a little bit later, and I will be back. Now, my friends did come over, and they put up the artwork. It's stunning, and I fixed a little fruit plate and some snacks, and then I did put a nice Trader Joe margarita pizza in the oven. So we actually had dinner when they were done, and they just left. So, hello everybody, I'm going to start another little section of answering some of the questions that I've been given. Before I begin, I want to catch you up. I've had so much fun. Yesterday I was at a little pool party, and it was late. It happened later in the afternoon. The sun was still shining, of course, it was still daylight, but there were like 1, 2, 3, 5 of us gals in a different community in their pool area. And so we had our floats, and we had our cold drinks, and we were just floating in the pool. It was perfect. It was a perfect time of day and perfect weather. So as we were doing that, we were saying, there's just no place else we would rather be than right where we were. Surrounded by mountains, surrounded by palm trees, in a beautiful swimming pool. Oh my gosh. After we were kind of waterlogged, we got out of the pool and walked over to Donna's house, and we had somebody made a giant casserole it was a ceviche casserole. Now she had thinly sliced cucumbers all around the edge. Then around that was thinly sliced avocado all around the cucumber edge. It was seasoned perfectly, and I don't really eat fish, but I remember having ceviche years ago down in Mexico. So anyway, I thought, well, I have to try it. Well, it was so good. It had tons of lemon in it because the acid in the lemon cooks the fish. It had cilantro. Anyway, it was delicious. And then another gal made deviled eggs that were wonderful. And then we had a spinach salad that was just perfect. What else did we have? Lots of little, finger foods. Anyway, I just had the nicest afternoon. We didn't stay real late, but when we were ready. As it got later, we were ready to go. So then tonight I went to here at Trilogy, somebody hosted a wine tasting party. Now, let me tell you, it was absolutely wonderful. Her home was gorgeous. I have not seen all the models here at Trilogy. Evidently, her home was quite large. Evidently, they only made 2 of the models that she lived in. So the kitchen was probably as big as my whole kitchen and living room. Absolutely stunning. So we sat around the counter in her kitchen, and she had different wines for us to taste, and then she gave us, like an agenda of the different wines, which one we would have first, which one second, and then she gave us a history of the wines and the areas where they were grown, the grapes were grown, and wonderful hors d'oeuvres that she had set around, little pieces of toast with like a spread on them, and then grapes, shrimp, a beautiful, it was this like pull apart casserole that was like bread and cheese. It was so good. And then skewers of fresh fruit, and then one giant platter someone brought with cubed cheeses and thinly sliced salami. Just some really nice hors d'oeuvres. So we tasted about 5 different wines. My favorite was the first one. It was called Haute Couture, and it was a bubbling wine. And then there was one other one that I liked, but I liked that very first wine the best. And I did order 2 bottles of that. So I'm delighted. I'll be delighted when that comes in. And then one of the gentlemen that was there got up and played his guitar after we were pretty much done, and we were kind of filling out orders or whatever. And so he played the guitar and we sang, and anyway, it was just so fun. So I just got home a little while ago, and I thought I've got to get this question and answer video up. It's kind of been on my mind. So, okay, so here we go. Let's see here. Somebody asked me about my cuff bracelet that I was wearing. It was all rhinestoney. That is so old, I couldn't even tell you where I got it. Probably from eBay. Someone asked if I was using that beautiful ivory tray that had the turquoise flowers in the middle of it. I put that outside for an afternoon, and then I went to get it because I had a party last Wednesday. Well, the whole tray yellowed. I mean, it's still usable, but I tried to clean it, very gently. I tried to use different cleaners to see if I could, wash off the yellow, but the sun bleached it and turned it sort of a yellow color. So it's not as pretty as it used to be. Asking a question about like mammograms, your yearly checkup. And what I have found is being on Medicare, they contact me every year that it's time for my mammogram, it's time for blood work, it's time for, a vision test, things like that. Now, I will say that this year I have ignored I've completely ignored my calls for my blood work and everything, and I'll tell you why. This has been such a hectic year between my divorce, my broken knee, which was last year, but it still was heavy duty. My move, my selling a house, buying a house, decorating a house, the pandemic, being isolated. It's like if I have to go to the getting 3 teeth pulled and spending $13,000 on implants for my mouth. I just thought I cannot have another blood test. I can't make another doctor appointment. I'm not doing it right now. So I have put that aside. But yes, normally I do. And what my doctor does, he will not renew my prescriptions unless I get my blood work done. So he sort of forces me into it. So far, he hasn't forced me. Okay, this is a cute little comment from a gentleman named Johnny. Johnny is saying that he's enjoyed my videos and that he's moving to Trilogy. And one of the reasons he's moving to Trilogy is because he has enjoyed watching me set up my new home, liked the floor plan, and so he investigated Trilogy and wants to move here. And he said, thank you, Johnny, that you mentioned to the sales office that my videos helped convince you to come check out Trilogy. But if you do decide to move to Trilogy, of course we have to meet, and you'll have to come over and have a little snack with me. Okay, someone is asking about, someone asked about my broken leg and my broken knee. A few years after I retired, so probably like 9 years ago, some of you are asking about my broken leg and broken knee. How are things coming along? About 9 years ago, I broke my leg badly. From below my knee to my ankle, those bones broke in about 3 different places. And it took a good 6 months for them to heal. And once again, bedridden 3 months. Then just last year, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, I fell and shattered my knee. It was not a knee replacement. I actually had to have bone graft. I do have a picture of my leg and my knee and the hardware that is now in it. I'll try to put it in here. But you know what? I'm doing fine. I definitely feel it, especially in the morning when I first wake up. But during the day, it seems to be pretty okay. I can exercise. I can go to the gym. I can walk. I can swim. All that good stuff. So I would say that I healed pretty well. Thank you for asking. Okay, what is my secret for staying positive and happy? There's no secret. I think I was born happy. I've always felt happy. I've always felt upbeat. I've always been positive. I've always been an optimist. It's my nature to see the good and not the bad. It's my nature to be trusting. It's just my nature. I know I have been called a Pollyanna. I've been teased. That I will say that is something that used to drive my husband crazy, was that I was so trusting, naive. He would say, "You're so naive. Oh, you're so trusting," and I would say, I also have a very strong belief in God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Bible. I am prayerful. I have an inner sense that that Jesus is looking out for me, that he is taking care of me. Always has, always will. I believe that I have a guardian angel, or more than one, that are there for me when I call upon them, and even when I don't call upon them. I feel like I have goodness and mercy that follow me all the days of my life. I feel I feel that I'm a child of God and that He takes care of me. Now, does that mean my life has been rosy? You know, everybody has a story, and there's a lot about my background that I'm not sharing with the public, with my YouTube friends, because it involves other people, and I don't want to out them. So, but let me just say that that I have suffered more than one serious tragedy in my life. And the only way that I got through that was because Jesus carried me through. So without getting real preachy, it is my nature to be upbeat and happy. And I know a lot of that is because of how I depend and lean on Jesus. I depend and lean on Jesus, and He is there for me. Someone's asking me about fillers and cosmetics procedures. I did a series, a 4-part series on my facelift that I had 20 years ago. And since then, I have gotten Botox fairly regularly, a couple times a year. And I have had fillers. I get fillers like in here, in my lips a tiny bit, and sometimes I've had some fillers put in here. The fillers, I'm not a real fan of fillers because I think a lot of people have relied on fillers way too much, and their face is unnaturally puffy, or their lips are too big. But it's a personal decision. But yes, I have, because my lips totally are shrinking. So I have had some fillers put in my lips recently. In fact, I took you there. I made a video out of it. But and I'll probably, I do want to get my turkey neck done. I am going to get this done. I've said it more than once. I'm going to do it. But it takes money, and I've spent all my money. Okay, let me see. Oh, someone is asking about my teeth. I have never had braces. I've been very blessed with good teeth. I have had them zoomed twice. Once, I just had them zoomed a couple months ago. That's why if you think they look white, that's why. I do brush my teeth with, I use peroxide and baking soda and Tom's toothpaste. But my dentist has told me that the peroxide and the baking soda are too harsh and don't use that every day. My teeth are old now, and so that's why they've cracked. The fillings have fallen out more than once, and that's why I've spent so much money replacing. Those back two teeth are permanent, or the drilled into my bone, and I've got one up here. And then I've had I just had one of my wisdom teeth pulled, so those are all gone now. So that's really all I do for my teeth. Well, of course, I go to the dentist, I get them checked, I get them cleaned. Someone's saying, do I remember one of the hottest days? Because, it gets really like 124, 25 here in the desert. When it's that hot, you just have to stay wet all day. You stay in the pool all day. Now, you know that I don't have a swimming pool anymore, but I'm going to get one of those baby swimming pools, the plastic ones that you don't have to blow up. I'm going to put my hose in it. I'm going to buy a little beach chair and put my beach chair in it. And if I don't feel like going up to the pool and to swim, I'm just going to sit in my little baby pool and stay wet. Because you have to stay wet, then you come indoors where it's air conditioned. Then you go back and forth. You keep fans on around your house, because sometimes it's so hot that even the air conditioners just almost poop out. And especially during the times of day that the city, we have they put messages on television that say, don't run your appliances between like 9 in the morning and 5 at night. don't, try to conserve energy, because a lot of, the hospitals need need the electric. People, you cannot live if you don't have air conditioning and or a pool in this heat. What someone's asking what church I go to. I go to it's called JPL, Joy, Peace, and Love, a Bible-based, non-denominational Christian church. It's lovely. It's full of the Holy Spirit. The Pastor Steve and Marty, are absolutely wonderful. They are just real, transparent, down-to-earth people who love the Lord. And Marty is a good friend of mine and has been very good to me, she and Steve. And so I just really, really love that church, and I'll be going there for probably forever and ever and ever. Okay, you guys, that's it for a while. I still have, well, wait a minute, maybe, hold on. Am I dating? I have been. I'm not now, but I have dated. I will say that I have had mostly good experiences, and I kind of go in spurts. I get lonesome, and then I go, I get active on the dating site. And then I meet a couple men, and then I kind of take some time off. And then I stay away from the dating site, and I'm busy with my girlfriends. So I don't know, I like the dating sites because it's an easy way to meet men. And now that things are open, you can meet them like at a restaurant now. You don't have to just go to Starbucks, I'll say. You can actually, now that things are open, it's easier to meet someone from a dating site, sit and talk and visit and decide if you want to go from there. I am not a cook. A couple people are saying, why don't I do videos on cooking? I do not cook. I hate to cook. I don't want anything to do with cooking. Now, sometimes I do cook things, a couple things that I like. I know how to make vegetable soup, and I love my vegetable soups. I have a couple little casseroles that I'll make. There's this one casserole with chicken, brown rice, broccoli, and cream of chicken Campbell's soup. Stovetop casserole. I will make pasta. I used to cook it, do some things in the crock pot. I'd put a roast in there, some potatoes, onions, things like that. Anything that's pretty simple. Like I joke, if there's more than 2 steps to making something, I won't do it, because it's just more than I can handle. And yeah, so I'm not a good cook. Even when I do try to cook something, it doesn't turn out very good. So then I'm like, oh, that's terrible. I've got 5 pots and pans to clean. I could have gone out and got a burger for a lot less money and spent a lot less time. So no, I'm not a cook, and I'm not even a reader anymore. I used to love to read books, but now that Netflix and Amazon, they've got all these great shows, I'm a binge TV watcher. That's my relaxation. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to stop for now.